How do you know if you're a good leader or not? By the end of this video, I'll give you 3 tactics that you'll be able to use to establish yourself as a leader. I'm Jono White, founder and principal consultant of Clarity. I'm based in Australia and I work with leaders around the world, here in Australia, New Zealand, US, UK, India, through one-on-one leadership coaching, facilitating offsites for boards and exec teams, and through keynotes and workshops and training. If you're watching this or listening to it wherever you are, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content on all things leadership. So how do you establish yourself as a leader? Here are the 3 tactics that I want to tell you. First one is listen first. Listen first. I would say listening is one of the top 5 traits of a leader. Anyone who wants to be a great leader needs to be a great listener. The more you listen, the more people feel heard, the more they feel cared for. And I reflect on my leadership journey, and when I stepped into a leadership role, one of the things I wish I had done better was listen. When you step into a new role, whether you're stepping in transition, whether you're stepping in to transform, make sure you come in and you listen first. Step in and listen, and just listen, absorb everything you can. That's the first tactic to establish yourself as a leader, because great listeners make great leaders. The second thing I want to say to you is don't try to keep everyone. How do you establish yourself as a leader? Don't try to keep everyone. It's a myth that attrition is the end of the world. It's a myth that people leaving is the end of the world. As Jim Collins says, you know, when it comes to people being on the bus, the goal is not to keep everyone on the bus. The goal is to get the right people on the bus, to keep the right people on the bus, and help the right people get off the bus in the healthiest way possible. And there's different seasons for everyone. It's the right time for someone to come on the bus, and it's sometimes the right time for someone to step off the bus, and you want to facilitate that. So as a leader, don't try to keep everyone. That's really powerful, because if you try to keep everyone, you won't be able to please everyone, and you'll make your life very difficult. How do you establish yourself as a leader? Listen first. Don't try to keep everyone. And then the third thing is stories. Stories are so powerful because stories capture vision. Meaningful stories capture vision. Meaningful stories breed vulnerability. So when you can, however you can, sharing your own stories, getting your team members to share their stories, bringing back founding members of your organization to share their stories, use stories. Great leaders can use stories to instill and reinforce and remember vision, where we've come from, which also reinforces a sense of who we are and where we're going, which is going to be powerful for you as you establish yourself as a leader. How do you establish yourself as a leader? 3 tactics. Listen first. Don't try to keep everyone. And stories. Hey, if this has helped you get clear about leadership, something for you as a leader, then why don't you write in the comments, clarity. Everything we do is to help people get clarity, and we'd also love it if you could subscribe, follow, and so that you don't miss out on future content. We've got great content coming. We've had coming up towards 1,000 leaders now do our 7 questions, a written interview about leadership, which we publish. So there's lots of content out there. Make sure you don't miss out on it, and stay tuned for all things leadership. Thanks for watching.